under the sun, one nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's settled tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Come and go. And all who feel the too bright, let me jump up, let me wind up, party non-stop. Ramaje Dingule Kekete, we come to play mass. Every creed and class, don't let nothing pass. Like a ready TV, all the love inside away.
First woman Prime Minister, first woman Attorney General, first woman to chair the Commonwealth of 54 nations, first woman opposition leader. Welcome KPB Plus, solid everywhere.
Like a ready TV, all the love inside away.
UNC family, UNC family, good evening. Thank you very much. Good night to all of you. Thank you very much. And we are so energized to be here in Chaguanas East. I can see our activists have come out in their numbers, so give yourselves a round of applause. My parliamentary colleagues and all those here this evening, we always knew Vandana was a great human being and a great soul. And tonight we say Vandana is a home girl. You could see that tonight. So thank you, Chaguanas East, for offering to the governance of Trinidad and Tobago your Member of Parliament, Vandana Mohit. Give her a round of applause, please. As you realize, we are out on the road, we are on the move, we've done with the virtuals and we are live with you. We intend to go the length and breadth of our country to meet in various constituencies, and tonight is the first of such meetings. We start here in Chaguanas East. Next week I believe we will be, Ms. John, in Pointe-a-Pierre constituency, thereafter in Caroni East, and thereafter in Kumutu Mansaluna. So we are on the move, we are on the road to victory. Join with us. Let's join together. My colleagues have spoken about several issues. I endorse all they've said. And let us welcome Mama here, JJ's mom and sister. Please give them a welcome. Happy to see them always. You see, mom's there, she don't miss a UNC meeting. Huh? Julian's mother, if Julian not coming, mom is coming. So thank you so much for being with us again. Now, over the past few days, we have seen how many, so many smoke screens and so on. Smoke and mirrors, the games that are playing. I want to take a slightly different approach tonight of seeing and understanding. You just said, you know, we are confounded sometimes with so much wrongdoing by this wicked PNM government that they seem to remain and seem to go back into power. And you know why? They have a playlist. They have a playbook. But the playbook only becomes unraveled after 10 years, after 25 years in certain cases. And so you will see all the lies, all the slander, all the smears, all the political persecution that they have meted out to people who are not PNM in this country. And we must learn and take note, because when you pick up yesterday's Express, one of the greatest hoaxes, if you could use that word, the greatest evil perpetrated by wicked PNM Rowley, was that Emailgate issue. You all remember that? Accusing me and other MPs of conspiring to kill a journalist. If we had to kill, it wouldn't be those people, huh? Not at all. They do their jobs. So I am not interested in killing anyone. What I'm interested in doing and working with you and with all of us is to bring back good governance to Trinidad and Tobago. Therefore, I ask you, do not ever be discouraged. Never swallow the PNM propaganda. And that's what happens with some of us. We get chained up by the PNM lies, you know. We believe those lies. Let's not swallow the PNM propaganda. They will say, they will repeat. They repeat their own lies so many times. And the truth then becomes, what is the lie? Because they repeat. And we get chained up. Sometimes I hear some of my own UNC colleagues telling me, oh God, MP. Oh God, boss. Oh God, you hear this thing about Rudy? You hear this thing about Anil? You hear this thing about JJ? What thing? The lies and the propaganda, the smear campaign, that's what they do, and we get chained. And we know what we do? We repeat those lies. We are so dotish in this country, some of us. I don't put myself in that category at all. But we have some dotish people. Get chained up with the lies and the smear campaign of the PNM. Look, take your heart out of that. Tonight I come to you to speak with you from my heart. I come with clean hands. I come with a loving heart. And I come to give you the commitment and the assurance that your UNC team will walk with you, will fight with you, and will fight for you so that we can be back on that road. The road march is the road to victory. This is where we must go. So when I tell you, never swallow PNM propaganda, remember, because just look at the crew who sometimes swallow the hook, the line, and the sinker all at once, and they repeat whatever these PNM misfits lie about. So keep faith. Let us never lose hope. We have strength in each other, and together we can move mountains. Let me join with you tonight. Anil spoke to us about the scholarships, where they reduced it from hundreds of scholarships now to give out just a few scholarships. But let's congratulate all the scholarship winners, please. All of them. This year I noticed many of the scholarship winners were female girls. And whilst we respect and honor them, we also have to push the boys. I always say, these days I'm talking on Women's Day issues, I say, women hold up half the sky. Who is holding up the other half? So together we must join hands, the two halves, to come together, you know, to perform, to work, to build, to have a better, greater TNT. So both men and women, we congratulate all those young girls, but we have to push the boys too. Agreed? We have to push our boys. Together we can do it. International Women's Day. I won't spend too much time on that because I've done a few of those speeches. But I want to talk, as I said, the PNM smear and slander machine. Have you heard the good news today? You know which good news? After 25 years. No, wait, I tell you, we're not killing nobody. Calm down, stay calm. After 25 years of smears and lies to bring down a UNC government 25 years ago. The cases against Basde Pandey, Omar Pandey, Ishkal Baran Singh, Carlos John, Brian Kwaitong, for the past 25 years, persecuting these men. Why? Airport matter. Scandal, UNC's thief, UNC corrupt. No, you hear lie? All that is PNM lies. PNM lies. And it took these men 25 years. This was a major plank of the PNM campaign and their narrative. UNC, yes, that's quarter century, boy. 25 years of persecution, not just prosecution, that was persecution, political persecution at Mr. Pandey. But it didn't even start there, it was even before that. 25 years ago, to come and case collapsed in the courts. Today, 25 years later. And what happens? For that 25 years, Anil, they had Anil branded about some live sport scam. Anil went to court. Beat them, yes, he beat them in the courthouse, that's right. But we believe the propaganda, the lies of the PNM. And if you notice, they do it every single time. Emailgate was no exception. And coming into 2013, for a Prime Minister to stand up in our parliament and lied. Lie. And it took years. Google cleared us. The police said nothing, so lies. And then today, as I said yesterday, in the Express newspaper, we see it, Sunday Express, email hacks and Israeli connection. And in that story in the Express, they are alleging that they hacked into me as Prime Minister, into my emails. You understand how desperate these people are? They will go to any lengths to remain in power, to take power. That is what that was about. I urge you to read it in yesterday's Express about email hacks and Israeli connection. And they said in the article that it was a businessman in Trinidad, not the air-conditioned man's son, not that one. Not that businessman. It was a businessman in Trinidad who paid for the Israeli connection to hack into my phone, to hack into other people's phone, and who paid to create and fabricate Emailgate. Do you all understand? There are people in this country, even when the police cleared us, when Google said they have nothing, so even then they still believe the lies of Keith Rowley on Emailgate. And I want to call on the then Integrity Commission, the chairman, what was his name? Ken Gordon. The day before Rowley came to the parliament, the night before he was in Ken Gordon's house. When he came with that email, he went to Ken Gordon's house in the night. What you going there for? You have evidence? Why you didn't take it to the police? What did he do and discuss with Ken Gordon from the Integrity Commission? So he better, he better watch himself, because he has a lot to answer for. Emailgate, hacks, and Israeli businessman. That's where I went before I sidetracked. A Trinidad businessman. And I want to ask tonight, because remember, when you're lying on people's phone, they could tape you. Remember that, all of you, Anil? Remember, don't lie on the phone, you know, because somebody taping that. So they can tape you. So who is this businessman in Trinidad? And tonight, I am not accusing anyone. I'm asking a question. And careful which phone you talk on last time, son. Andrew Gabriel, were you the businessman who paid for Emailgate? Who paid these Israeli spies? You remember a couple of years ago, I stood up on these platforms and in the parliament, and we told you that they had Israeli spies here. You all remember that? And Rowley said, Kamla, whatever, he always loves my name. If not me, he just loves my name. He must call my name. It was true, because here is this double page, you know, 2 full pages in yesterday's Express on the hacking, email, hacks, and Israeli connection. How many years ago was that? 2013? 10 years later, expose. Okay? 10 years later. So, yeah, boy, they take too long sometimes. It comes out, and that's the point I am making. So when they come with their slanderous allegations against us, do not swallow it. Do not believe it. Because in the meantime, given the slow pace of justice in this country, it takes so long to clear your name. And in the meantime, what happens? Everybody think you're a crook. And that's what I come back to the PNM smear and slander machine. The PNM playlist. So I talked to you about Emailgate 10 years ago. I talked to you about the airport scandal 25 years ago. Imagine these men, up Mrs. Pandey, Mr. Pandey, and the other, up and down courthouse for 25 years. And today, cases have collapsed. But for 25 years, every time they go to court, big picture in the paper. Look, you see crooks. Look. front page, back page, center page. So I'm jumping all over the place because I am so incensed. The talk is the PNM playlist, the PNM playbook, their smear campaign, their slander machine. They do it all the time. Back in 1995, before Persad Bissessar formed the government, let me just I have it in very fine print, so I'll just put on my eyes, okay? What is it, Kirk, in 1995? April 95. Mr. Pandey and us went into government later that same year in 1995, yes? December 95. So before Pandey even go to form government, they already was out there trying to discredit Persad Bissessar. You all remember that? Persad Bissessar went to that election. He was on a court charge. He was on a charge. You all remember that? PNM propaganda machine again. Took the man years to get that. He went in there with that hanging on his neck to become prime minister. And when, I ain't talking about the lady, I'm talking about the case. And when the judge, the magistrate in that matter, he did not give his judgment before the election, do you all remember? He waited till after the election and said the man not guilty. PNM slander machine and smear machine. And so in 1995, way back when we were going into government for the first time under the UNC, April, Kirk did the research for me, April 95. I have a report that was written, as I say, in April 95, before the December elections, okay? It was written by the Center for the Study of Harassment out of Washington, D.C. April 1995, take note. And when we go back there was this smear campaign against the founding leader of the UNC, Persad Bissessar. The report is cited the harassment of Persad Bissessar. Hear me? April 1995, we are going into an election. They come with a smear campaign, the slander to make sure that they stayed in power. And this is a report, as I said, out of Washington. I'll just quote here from the conclusion of that report titled The Harassment of Persad Bissessar. After a thorough and exhaustive investigation into allegations of intimidation and harassment of the Honorable Mr. Persad Bissessar, leader of the opposition in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, the Center for the Study of Harassment has concluded that there exists a pattern of legal and political harassment of Mr. Bissessar by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. The story continues, that report. It says it includes some of the top figures in government dealing with the harassment of Bissessar as the leader of the opposition, including the Prime Minister, the AG, and the DPP. You see the conspiracy of these offices under PNM government. Included in this campaign of harassment were other members of the legal and political community who played major and minor roles in this scandal. So can you imagine this? A report written in Washington outlines the harassment of UNC opposition leader Persad Bissessar by the then PNM Prime Minister, the AG, and the then DPP, as well as other members of the legal and political community. However, UNC people are strong, we are resilient. We must never ever back down and never ever give up. And we did not, and Pandey went through to win that election in 1995. But there is more. It is not only the Center for the Study of Harassment, that report I read to you from, they are not the only ones dealing with perception and appointing, dealing with people. There's an article in the UK Guardian, United Kingdom Guardian. This is not the journalists in Trinidad and Tobago. They are good people too. This is the UK Guardian, which is a well-respected paper. And that story is dated Saturday, 4th March 2023. That's last Saturday, is it not? Last Saturday, 4th March 2023. It is titled Trouble in Paradise. Corruption in the Caribbean has become normalized. That's the headline. 4th March. This is what they said, and I quote, not me, this is from the UK Guardian. What of the watchdogs, the social activists, the financial intelligence units, the integrity commissions, the other agencies or organizations charged with leading the anti-corruption fight in this region? The results show they lack meaningful influence in creating change. Continue to quote from the Guardian, UK Guardian. A past chair of the Trinidad chapter, that's the Transparency International. Transparency International, you know. After that person retired from the post of chairman of Transparency International, what happened? He reached Jamaica. How? Because Rowley appointed him, gifted him a diplomatic position in Jamaica. And you remember when we were in government up to 2015, every single day, Transparency International, who is the chairman? I'm talking about Derek Murray. Great cricketer, but what he'll do? He didn't know the optics of himself coming from Transparency International. Every day, attacking the partnership government, every single day. Not a word to say when they came, this PNM Rowley, when they came to the parliament and watered down the procurement legislation. Watered it down, not a word. Not a word up to now to say that they have not proclaimed even the watered down procurement legislation, but they buy ship and boat from all over the world without proper procurement. What do they say? They said nothing. They said nothing. But he was gifted. He was given a gift by Rowley, a reward. Yes, that's it, Rodney, a reward. And took up that position. That same Guardian article, UK, reads, and I quote again, a controversial past situation was the appointment of someone named Fern Narcis Scoop. This is the Guardian in the UK, you know. I know Ronnie Charles always talking and Wade Mark about this in the parliament and so on. Fern Narcis Scoop. As a director of Transparency International, Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine that. She was a director on Transparency International, attacking us every day when we were in government, not a word then. Then she went, where did she go? She was a legal officer in EBC when the PNM took power in 2015. She was propelled to chief elections officer. Remember that? And there was much uproar, because came from the person who was then the deputy leader in the EBC, Deputy Chief Elections Officer, Lina Sahadeo. She filed a Freedom of Information request to find out why she was bypassed. Bypassed to bring in Fern Narcis Scoop, family of some former PNM minister. Maxi Coffee. All right, you will tell them that, Adol. And so she was overlooked because she is the Deputy Chief Election Officer. The natural progression is when the Chief Election Officer retired, what you do? You go to the person with the experience. No. They picked up this lady. This now originated with an allegation made in the Senate by Opposition Senator Wade Mark, accusing Narcis Scoop of being related to a PNM minister, and I believe that is true, is related to Maxi Coffee. This was denied by the EBC. I continue to quote, a director of an agency such as Transparency International should at least be beyond reproach of any conflict of interest and not hold political positions. But not in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is not a real place, is it? Under Rowley, it's not a real place. Alas, the modus operandi of most institutions in this country is to simply keep quiet until the well-known 9-day memory of its citizens soon kicks in. Transparency International seems to be no exception. So this is it. This is where we are in this, not a real place under Rowley. This is where we are. And I'm warning you tonight as we embark now on the road march to victory, that we do not swallow the PNM's lies and slander and propaganda. I'm showing you way back when they will come again. They came under the People's Partnership, the email gate fabrications exposed today. When Pandey was there, they came with the airport corruption scandal. Case collapsed today. And more to come, you know. The Piarco cases from the same Pandey era. It has played out year after year, decade after decade on PNM political platforms to smear and scandalize and slander the UNC. The case was never meant to succeed in court. Instead, all it was meant to do is to drag out as long as possible to have the UNC seem as corrupt people. That's what that was about. And then there was another, it spun that airport case, morphed into something else, you know. Another controversy, you know. Another controversy. Always painting the UNC in the corner of corruption and wickedness. Gypsy used to always tell us, he said, when you point your finger, so one point back, you know. Pointing back at you, you know. That's what the PNM does. They accuse you of what they are doing. They tell you you are corrupt, that's what they are doing. That's what is happening. So this airport thing morphed into another controversy. One of it was a very infamous Section 34 matter. And you remember that? JJ, you remember that infamous Section 34? I want to state very clearly, I have nothing more to apologize for on that Section 34 matter. That's another one they keep spinning all the time. Section 34, Kamla and the UNC and the partnership, we want to let these fellas go free. Nothing is further from the truth. Not one single human being in Trinidad and Tobago escaped from a court of law because of Section 34. Not one. But that was the mantra on the partnership. Section 34, corrupt people. Again, that's part of PM smear and slander campaign, slander machine. But I tell you, we must speak out. Do not let them shut us up. We had to fight back. Joseph Tony sent me an email a few days ago. He said, we backed down, you know. When the court told us nothing wrong with Emailgate, we did nothing wrong. There was no such thing as the Emailgate. When Google said it, we say, okay, we get cleared. No. PNM continues with the same slander. And from now on, I ask you, wherever you speak, to remind people and point this out to people everywhere you go in this country. Do not swallow PNM propaganda. So, that infamous Section 34, PNM, Rowley and his whole team, they passed it in the parliament when it was passed. When we discovered it may have unintended consequences, we worked, I remember Anna Ramlogan, then AG, worked throughout the night to take the next set of parliament an amendment to take out certain parts of it that were felt to be offensive. So again, that Section 34, you know what Mr. Our only person say, he will bolt it onto my chest. He will bolt it onto the chest of the UNC. And that's what they do with their lies and their propaganda. So what happened with that matter? The Section 34 matter was another one. And then now we have the current age, you know. He has found himself entangled in this decades-long matter with the airport. So again, this smear and slander machine. He lied to the court. We shared that with you. Well, I see this man, I don't know what he's still doing as Attorney General. The $20 million matter, you remember that? That he failed to file, and they failed. Look, you see, this Express paper again today, AMO. Yesterday's Express, next Bacchanal. 2 Bacchanal on this Express front page yesterday. AMO failed to file. It's not the same one that in the Miami court, you know. It's not the one in the, about the prisons and so on, the prisoners in the Vindran. This is our next case. State agency offers $2 million to former manager after no witness statements are submitted. DIC. This one, the file not missing. This one, they had no file at all. It was never there. It was never there. In the other one, there was a file that they say went missing. So this one, they did not file witness statements, and therefore, the court is still to hear the matter, you know, later this month. But the lawyers for the state agency, DIC, they wrote to Anand Ramlogan. Boy, they probably hate that boy named Anand, you know. Because every case is in their face, right up in their face. So they wrote to Anand as a lawyer for the manager of the DIC that they had fired him. And they say, hey, let's settle this thing now. But you know what? We'll pay you some hush money. And you must put in a non-disclosure clause, a confidential clause. We'll pay you $2 million, right? Out of court settlement. But you stay quiet. Hush money. Hush money. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. You know? So here it is, Mr. Amo again, caught with his pants up or down, I don't know which one. As the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. Disgraceful. So, as you told me, Saf, you said, the truth always comes out. Look at what they did to Anna and Ramlogan. Gerald Ramdeen. Remember? Before the last election, oh God, Anna Ramlogan is a thief and a crook and blah, blah, blah. What happened to that case? Collapsed in the court. But it was sufficient for them to do what? To win an election, smear the UNC, spoil the names of UNC members, and they will do it again. They will do it again. Please be on the lookout. Please watch out. They will not stop there because they want to hold on to power by any means. So my friends, 2 weeks I tell you, all the PNM lies, and I say, well, if you think it couldn't get worse with Limo, that AG Limo, it couldn't get worse. Look at the headline again yesterday. And there will be more to come. So I want to close to wish you all the best for the International Women's Day on Wednesday. And I think Vandana had asked her to get someone to sing. And I think Sue has some copies of the song. So join with us as we celebrate women in Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you all. Join us, stay with us on the road to victory. We will form the next government as long as we remain united and strong. Thank you very much.